into the box score. Cherry Collins along with Justin Mauldin. And Justin, it's basketball time. I know we've been wall-to-wall football, but basketball starting its third week now.
Listen, we're getting into the cold weather. We know it's getting basketball time. It is winter sports time, which means it's basketball season.
We had a game on, I guess it was last Monday night, Gordonsville at Watertown. The Watertown girls, a big second half, gets the victory. And let's go ahead and look at the stats from that game. Madison King had 8 points, a couple threes. Macy Braley, of course, a familiar name we saw from a year ago with 8 points. Mackenzie Herring with 10, but at halftime, we got a score of 14-11 Gordonsville, and then in the second half, Watertown Justin outscores Gordonsville. I guess that was 27 to 8, and gets the win.
Yeah, you know, talking to Coach Keller before the season started, you know, he wants his teams to finish strong. I mean, that's something that he was prioritizing, you know, improving perimeter play among some other things. And, you know, he wants to make sure that they're playing from beginning to end, from the tip off to that final buzzer. You know, this was a good game for them. Yeah, we'll see if they can continue to do that, to finish and to capitalize on the mistakes of others.
Let's go ahead and look at the boys' game. Gordonsville boys continue to be on a roll. They're still undefeated. Jay Foster in his first game off the football field scores 28 points, including 4 threes. Brody Sykes, a big presence inside. He's probably 6'4", 6'5", and very long arms, tough defensively also, Justin. And then J.J. Goodall, 20 points for Watertown. But Gordonsville jumped out to that lead, and, you know, they held that throughout. And Greg Bibb's team has been playing well here in the early part of the season.
Yeah, you know, it's a deadly combination when you've got Gordonsville with their perimeter shooting and then Brody Sykes on the inside with his size. So even if you put something up and you don't find the bottom of the net, you've got somebody who can pull down that rebound and put it right back up. So that's going to come in handy for them, and that was a great win for Coach Bibb's team.
Replay dates for the game will be Thursday, November 30th at 7 p.m., Friday, December the 1st at 1, and then on Saturday and Sunday, December 2nd and 3rd at 7 p.m., and that's only right here on DTC 3. We're going to now talk about our teams in the area. We're going to start about Cannon County and DeKalb County. We'll start out with the Cannon County Lionettes. They got a big win on the road last night at DeKalb. Head coach is Ashley Patrick. Of course, she used to be Ashley Campbell in her second season. They were 18-12 a year ago. They were tied first place in the district with Westmoreland, if I remember right. And now they're in 9AA. They lost to York in the region semifinals, scored 52-32, and a lot of key returning players. When you look at Jenna Bush, Addie King, Abby Alexander, Evelyn Teeter, 4 players that scored and did a lot of playing for them last year, Justin.
Yeah, they've got some great girls returning. Lost 2 dynamic players in Bella Pelham and Aniston Holt. The big thing that they're going to have to focus on, because of the 2 that they lost, they're a lot quicker than they were last year, but they're also a lot smaller. So size is going to be an issue for them. But Coach Patrick firmly believes that this team can make a run, and believes that sub-state or sectional is a game that they're going to be able to make and get to.
Let's look at the girls' scores. Cannon beats Red Boiling by 25. Played Lebanon close, 57-49. Of course, Lebanon got a big win over Galveston last night. Then Cannon goes on the road and beats DeKalb 53-46. They're 5-2. They played some pretty tough opponents, Justin.
Yeah, they went to Lebanon to play in those Thanksgiving games, and stuck right with Lebanon during that, and that's a big opponent when you're playing a 4A school. It's a Thanksgiving game, but you are in their house, right. And so it was essentially a road game for them. And while they didn't pull out the win, it was great to get that experience for them against a very tough opponent.
All right, now let's look at Jared Nave and the Cannon County Lions. Of course, Jared in his second year. He also a former player for the Lions, and they went 12-17 a year ago. And in District 6 AA, they went 3-3. Of course, this year, and then 9AA, they lost by 10 to York in the region quarterfinals. They returned Theo Winters, A.J. Armstrong, Antonio Jones, Eli Pelham. So there's 4 outstanding players returning for them. And of course, Pelham got hurt a year ago, if I remember right, in the district, or right at the end of the season, which hurt them in the district tournament. But some awful talented lines just in return.
They've got a very strong core returning. When you look at those 4 who are coming back, those are 4 starters coming back for them, coming back to play. And Coach Nave, the hometown coaches, getting their kids hyped up and getting them ready to go. They have a few football players, not a ton. That's why you see a strong start for them when we look at their record here in a second, because he's been able to have quite a few of them in the gym already and not having to get them reacquainted to the basketball court.
Of course, Cannon County did not make the playoffs this year, and that's the one thing when you share athletes that you get an opportunity to do is go and have those players earlier, which means when you go to your scrimmages, Justin, before the Hall of Fame games and then the regular season, you get an opportunity for those kids to blend and mold together like you did this summer.
Yeah, and listen, as much as these coaches like having multi-sport athletes because they want them constantly active and doing things, but there's something to be said. They can get them in the gym and get them back in basketball shape and in rhythm. That helps a ton too.
Let's go ahead and look at the Cannon County Lions scores. And they beat Rockville 60-46. Providence Christian beat them 68-42. And then last night fell to DeKalb County on the road 54-52. They stand at 5-2 as well. Speaking of DeKalb County, let's talk about the Lady Tigers now. Of course, Brandy Alley in her second season back in always tough District 7 AAA. They were 14-15 a year ago, 4-8 in the district. They lost by 25 to White County in the first round of the district tournament. Of course, when you look at the Van Brankens, Ella and Chloe and Tess Barton and Cam Brannon and Avery Agee, they return a lot of pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, Ella Van Branken is a very dynamic athlete, very dynamic scorer. This time last year, she was hitting her 1,000th point as a junior. She's coming back in as a senior. You mentioned her younger sister, Chloe, who's a sophomore. She's not up there, but she is a key returner for them as well. And again, playing in District 7 AAA again, that's tough. That is very tough, top to bottom. When you look, the final AP poll for them, they had 3 and 4 teams in the AP poll the entire season. And again, you lose one team, but still, only 4 teams can get past the district and into region play. So you've got 4 top 10 teams in the state. That makes for a very difficult slate.
It does. It means if you can get out of the district, there's a chance you may go to the state, for sure. Let's go ahead and look at the Lady Tigers, for the DeKalb Tigers. Joey Agee in his second season. They were 12-15 overall, 4-8 in the district. They lost 93-75 to White County in the District 7 AAA first round. They returned Connor Close, Alex Antoniak, Jordan Parker, and Dallas Kirby. Of course, we'll have an interview with Joey a little bit later, but still a lot of solid pieces.
Yeah, they lost a couple key seniors last year. They return probably one of the most dynamic players in our area in Connor Close. I've been seeing him. He's been in the gym. He's been putting up shots. He's been putting in the working. He's already an explosive player, but explosiveness is something that he's been working on in this off season. So very excited to see him and to see the leadership role that he takes on as he steps on the court as a senior for DeKalb County this year.
We'll check out our other area schools when we return to the box score, presented to you and sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Neighbors help each other. It's how community works. And it's how we do business at DTC. You can count on us for internet, TV, and phone, backed by local support.
For a limited time, get 1 month free when you add or upgrade your internet package. Enjoy internet speed that can keep up with all you do.
DTC. We're working hard to be a good neighbor.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Welcome back here to the Box Score. Justin Mauldin along with Terry Collins. We're looking at our area teams, and we're going to start out with the Gordonsville Tigerettes as Coach Jake Dillard we'll have on a little bit later in the show. He's in his 7th season. They were 6-22 a year ago. Did not win a game in the district. They were competitive. They wound up losing to Red Boiling, Justin, in the play-in game. But I tell you what, it's a gauntlet when you look at the top 4 in that district. Maybe not this year, but last year it definitely was.
Oh yeah, no, 7A is always high quality basketball. Girls basketball in the Upper Cumberland is great, period, no matter what. And if you get stuck in one of those districts where you're having to represent one of those teams and compete against one of those teams, it's pretty challenging day in and day out.
Of course, Callie Underwood is back. Kamar Young, the senior post, along with the sophomores, Molly Story, KK Robert, Mackenzie Herring. Jake Dillard be relying on these 5 young ladies heavily. Let's go ahead and look at some of their scores. Of course, they lost on Monday night to Watertown. They went to Hartsville, lost 44-32. They're 1-4, but you know, I see good things for them. They're getting better, and I think Jake will get them there.
You know, it's a very young team, and so they're going to have some of the experience, getting that time on the court, especially with those young players. And to me, Gordonsville basketball looks very bright for the future. They've got a pipeline that it has got a lot of talent in it. And so over the next few years, I think we're going to expect some good things coming out of Gordonsville.
Let's look at Greg Bibb and his 5th season. 19-10, they were 6-2, finished 2nd in the district. Unfortunately, they lost in that semifinal game. I think it was in overtime to Peake County, which threw them against East Robertson in the quarterfinals, and Gordonsville goes there and loses by 8. But to be honest with you, East Robertson maybe was a little better than we thought they were. They went on to win the state championship a year ago in basketball, in boys basketball, if I remember right. Brody Sykes and Jay Foster, 2 dynamic stores, Tristan Wood and Eli Adams. And then you got Tucker Smith, who's injured, who's hoping to return. So Greg Bibb's team is undefeated this year, and when we look at some of their scores, you know, they beat Watertown on the road 51-40, and then they beat Trousdale 55-44 to improve to 4-0. Justin, this team, they love to play defense. And they've got the perimeter to go with Sykes inside, along with Adams, who can also play inside. They could make a deep run.
Yeah, it's a hard combination. You know, Jay Foster comes in, plays his first game this week after coming off of football. Stud in football, didn't miss a beat. When it took coming right back to the basketball court, you would have thought that he'd been practicing for a month before he saw his first game action. Coach Bibb's got them prepared, he's got them ready, and they're executing very, very well to their game plan.
Of course, Foster had 28 in his debut against Watertown. Of course, you can watch that game here on DTC 3. And now we'll take a look at the Smith County Lady Owls and Matt Farrell returning. overall 14-19 a year ago. Wound up tied for third at 1-5 with Watertown. But then that made that magical postseason run where they upset Westmoreland in the region semis. By the way, that was Smith County's only win over a team over 500 all year. Went to Unionville and played community in the sub-state game. Wound up losing that game in overtime. Of course, they lost Addie Hawkins, they lost Errol Houghton, but they returned Marissa Spivey, Aaron Enoch, Judy Dickerson, and Chloe Collins. And I know Matt is looking for improvement.
Lost a couple talented individuals on the team, returned some depth, but they also returned with the experience of that postseason run.
Right.
And that experience you can't teach. You can't teach that, and going into it. And they went down into community. They went to Unionville and played in that gym, and we were both there, Terry.
Right.
And that was an absolute madhouse. And being able to stick with them when they were counted out by everybody,
right.
That shows a lot of heart and a lot of character, and they're bringing that right back. And Coach Farrell has them believing this season. That
is only the third time that Smith County has ever been to the sub-state. They went in 73, which was their only state tournament appearance, and again in 78. This is the first time ever in a 45-year period that they had been to the sub-state once again. Let's look at the girls' scoreboard. Smith County got the win over Laverne 59-23 in the Pickett County Thanksgiving Classic, and then they kind of got blowed out in the against host Pickett County on that Saturday. And then on Monday they turn around and play Lipscomb, go through there and win 48-37. Their overall record now stands at 3-4. Justin, against Pickett, they just never got going in that game.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard. Again, that's a game on the road. That's part of their Thanksgiving Classic. But they come right back. They rebound. They pick up an extra game. The girls were the only team that played Monday when they go to Lipscomb, and because Coach Farrell's adding those games to get the experience, to get the time on the court. JV had a game, the varsity had a game, and that's what they're going to need. And so, hey, start slow, finish strong, learn, develop, keep growing.
Let's talk about Trey Sanders and the Owls. They are in District 5AA after being 6AA. They lost 66-55 to Jackson, or 66-56 in overtime a year ago in the quarterfinal. Of course, they got Clayton Rigsby back, Peyton Hicks back, Taylor Kemp. They're off to a tough start. Trey Sanders in his 11th season for the Owls, of course, 2 stints. But when you look at Smith County so far, and looking at their scores, they have got to improve. They're 1-5 right now.
Yeah, they've got some seniors, but then there's a gap on this team. They're playing quite a few seniors, and then they're playing a lot of freshmen.
Right.
So there's really not a lot in between there. So yes, you've got some experience at the top end, but you've got a lot of young guys coming in and stepping on the court for the first time. They have a lot of football players too, so that's part of their slow start. Is they had several football players coming. Clayton Rigsby's coming back from an injury, and so hopefully things will change as they get more acquainted with the court and get back into basketball shape.
Now let's look at the Watertown Lady Purple Tigers. Jeff Keller in his 3rd season. Of course, they were in Smith County's district a year ago. They did wind up going to the region quarterfinals. Kiara McClary, Madison King, Macy Braley, and Jaylee Robertson, returners for the Lady Purple Tigers.
He's going to be dependent upon those seniors, but Macy Braley had a standout season last year as a freshman for them, was the freshman player of the year for the district. He's in his 3rd season now. His style of offense they're getting more acquainted with. He believes that he's got the ball handlers and a little bit better size to be able to facilitate this year the type of offense that he wants to run. And so he really does believe that they can take a step forward this season compared to his first 2 seasons.
Now let's look at the Watertown Purple Tigers as Kevin Honeycutt returns for them in his 2nd season, made a magical run, did not win a game all year long in the district, and then gets hot, upsets Smith County, wins the tournament, goes all the way to the sub-state game before losing to Pearl Cone. They've got J.J. Goodall, Marcus Reynolds, Dacio Carter, Chase McConnell. Of course, their outstanding player, 1,000-point scorer, is gone now, but still trying to plug in and replace him is going to be tough.
That's going to be very, very difficult. I haven't seen anything quite like the run that they made at the end of the postseason. Not winning a district game, winning the district tournament, winning those games in region, and then going and playing a very tough Pearl Cone team on the road. You know, Coach Honeycutt's got a thing that he started this year with his team called the Breakfast Club.
Right.
So where they're getting in the gym early and putting in some extra effort before school even starts, before their normal practice even starts, and hopefully we'll see that pay dividends for them in the future.
We'll have more on the box score when we return, presented to you by Carthage Safeway.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
There are some services that you don't need every single day, but when you do, you need them fast. That's the kind of service that Roto-Rooter provides. Owned by the Watson family, Roto-Rooter is your next licensed trusted plumber with quick and dependable plumbing and drain service for those in DeKalb, Smith, and White counties. They can do it all and on your schedule. So go ahead and call the plumbing and drain experts of Roto-Rooter today. 615-215-7686.
If you're a commercial driver looking for a company to call home, Huff and Puff Trucking is the company for you. Our employees are professional and dedicated individuals that take pride in what they do. We offer an outstanding pay package with a dispatch structure that maximizes your home time. To learn more about a company that knows you by name and treats you like family, call us at 1-800-965-5033 or visit our website at huffpufftrucking.com.
And welcome back to the box scores, presented to you by Carthage Safeway. And we've got DeKalb County guys head coach Joey Agee with us. And Joey, I know this is the third week of the season, and how do you feel like it's gone so far?
Well, I mean, I feel like we got our football kids back, and maybe they're in a little bit better rhythm now. I thought earlier, first probably 3 games or so, we're still trying to get our legs back under us a little bit. You know, I got 2 football kids who play a lot, so that have big responsibilities for our team, and just getting them back in, getting them caught up on everything. So I think we're heading in the right direction.
Coach Agee, when you look at this team, a lot of missing parts from a year ago. Had some outstanding seniors, very athletic seniors. What are you doing I know it's a different group. Yes, you've got a few returning players with experience, but what are you doing to try to, incorporate? It's a new season. It's a new group to get together.
Yeah, of course we got, Connor Close returning, which is one of our main scorers last year. So, we rely on him, or have relied on him early in the year to try to be our offensive threat, and everybody knows about him, so they're going to scheme against him. So really just trying to get everybody to be a little bit more patient on the offensive end. But really for us, the defensive end is going to be key for us, because we got a bunch of hard-nosed kids, and they like to play hard and they're physical. So I think we'll probably hang our hat more on the defensive end this year.
Macon County moves out over to 9 AAA this year, and you may think, we got one less team in 7 AAA, but I don't think that it makes it any easier in district play for you guys this year. So how tough do you think it's still going to be in 7 AAA from top to bottom this year?
I think it's going to be as tough as it ever has been. We lost Macon, but we didn't pick up anybody, like you said. I think, really the only thing that changes for us is the way that the district tournament is laid out a little bit. I think the first 2 seeds will get a bye, and then everybody else will play from there. But, we really tried to schedule some teams early in the year, some tough teams. Played Wilson Central the first game, some bigger schools. So, we're just trying to get, everything headed in the right direction going into the Christmas break, and then, district play will start after that.
Joey, when you look at last year's team, I guess the one thing, overriding factor that led to a lot of your games that you lost, you had leads in, but then you couldn't hold them. I know as a coach, sometimes after the fact, you can kind of pinpoint what caused that. Was it bad shots on offense? Was it a lack of communication on defense and not doing that? I know that's one thing that you've got to try to straighten out this year that hurt you a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think last year probably was a lot of bad shots late in the game, not having a real good feel for the basketball game. We lost a 17-point lead to White County early in the year. And I don't know if that affected us mentally throughout the rest of the year. When we have a lead late in the game, we was just waiting for something to happen that would get us off track. But, we a lot of times we just had, we'd be up 6-8 points in the fourth quarter. And we'd just take maybe a early three, and those threes look good if they go in. But it happened to us on multiple occasions where those shots didn't fall, and then we had a timely turnover or something that kind of got the ball rolling a little bit, and it was hard to stop at that point. But we're really trying to just get to our kids. Every possession is important. Know the game, know the situation, be patient on offense. And that's happened to us already once this year. We were playing Clay County in a Hall of Fame game and had an 8-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and took some bad shots, had some bad turnovers, and ended up getting beat by 2 late. So hopefully, we're learning as we go, and we try to schedule those games early in the year against good teams, so you learn those lessons before you get to district tournament.
I know the preseason media and coaches polls have probably motivated your team quite a bit with the expectations that were placed there, but I know internally y'all's expectations are a lot higher. So outside of district play, when it comes to district play, what does your team need to do to meet those expectations? I know for you guys, I know you want to make a region appearance. I know it's been a while since that's happened, so what do you need to do in order to see that goal accomplished?
Well, I mean, like you just got to win the games that you should win, and then you got to maybe steal one here or there. But we just can't put ourselves in a hole, early in the district season, and you got to put yourself in a good situation going into the tournament to have the best possible outcome that you can have. But we're relying on some juniors and some sophomore and a sophomore right now, and I had 2 kids last year that missed the whole year due to injury. They would have played probably for us last year quite a bit. So we're relying on those 2 guys. But yeah, I mean, when you're in a district battle the way our district shakes up, you got to at least try to win your home games anyways. Our home crowd does a great job coming out and supporting the kids, and it's always a fun place to play.
Joey, when you look at losing Macon, I know Michael Owens was their second-year head coach, just like you're in your second year. But making a team, if you could pick one to get rid of, that was a team you're going to be competitive with, or maybe beat. But now, you've got, when you look at Livingston and they've got basically everybody back. You've got Stone, you've got White County, you've got Upman, you've got. Just to make that top 4, you'd have to have an outstanding year. And I'm not saying that in a negative towards y'all. It's just because there's so many good guys teams that, a lot of teams are very successful a year ago, had 20-plus wins. And basically, the only losses a lot of those had was against each other.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a tough road once you get the district schedule for us and for everybody in our district, really. You better be on your A game, and there's a lot of great coaches in our district, and they'll scheme against the things that you try to do and want to do. But like I said, when you're in a situation to win a game, you just can't let one get away, like we did last year, early. Kind of put ourselves in a hole a little bit. We had a chance at Livingston last year probably to win that game. And of course, we had a chance to win against White County at home. Right now probably Upperman and Stone's probably a little bit ahead of everybody, and that's kind of the way it was picked, and I don't know, a lot of those picks are based off what people lost and what people have coming back, so we don't put a whole lot of stock in that. We do use that a little bit as a motivation, like any competitor would do, but you just better be ready to play every game. It's a physical district, beating and banging is always something that's going to happen, and like I said, there's a lot of good coaches out there.
You mentioned earlier you've got some players returning from injury. I know you mentioned, John Hendricks has stepped up for you as a sophomore this year and playing. From an experience standpoint and a playing standpoint, though, when I look at this team, it seems like you've probably got a pretty deep team. So what kind of rotation and how far deep in the bench do you expect your players to play this season?
Well, right now we're probably going to be about 8 players deep at times, based on the teams that we play. Some of our kids match up better against teams that play a lot of zone. Some of our kids match up better against teams that play man. So it'll be different every night, really. Right now, we're just trying to make sure that we're putting everybody in the situation that they can succeed in. But like I said, we have Jordan Parker, who had elbow surgery after football season last year. He ended up playing one game for us. It was in the district tournament. Basically out of necessity. And Dallas Kirby is another junior who missed off last year, broke his leg in preseason. And those two guys have done really well so far. I think Jordan Parker is getting his basketball legs underneath him after a tough football season. So he's a great athlete and a great leader, great competitor. He kind of makes us go a little bit. He's got a motor, and he likes to play defense, and he likes to be physical and dive on the floor. We played a tough game last night against Canyon County and ended up winning that game by 2. And Jordan, he fouled out late 3 minutes to go in the game, and I think we had maybe a 7-point lead when he fouled out, ended up winning by 2. So really need to keep him on the floor as much as possible. But we got some other kids, coming off the bench. Caleb Spears is a big kid, and he's going to be used in situations when we need some defensive stops and big rebounds. And I think he can be a really good asset on the defensive end of the floor. And got another kid that'll come off the bench, Ian Caldwell. He shoots the ball really well, and like I said, just trying to put him in situations to be successful right now.
Coach, when you look at Connor Close, one of the better athletes in your district and in the mid-state, as far as I'm concerned, excellent leaper. He's got a good mid-range game. He can take it to the hole. Of course, we've seen some of his dunks. They're just, goo-goo, is all I know to say. Every time I see one, I'm just like, no, there's no way he can get to that pass, and he does. Having a player of that dynamic, Coach, I know you don't want to overburden him, but you still want to get him the rock as much as you can. And then sometimes you have to use him as a decoy. I know as a coach, sometimes where to draw that line's got to be pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you got a player like him, a caliber player like him, you want to get him the ball as much as possible. But like I said, there's times where we can use him as a decoy to try to draw some attention away from the basketball and do some things away from him. But, for him, it's just going to be a mindset for him, night in and night out, that he's going to have to go get his. They're not going to give it to him, and they're probably going to most teams probably going to try to take him away, and then if the other 4 can beat him, then they'll live with that. So he's going, at times he's going to have to demand the basketball in certain situations, and we're just trying to really encourage him to do that right now. And I think last night, he did some things off the offensive rebounds to kind of give us a spark, and they had him buttoned up pretty good on the defensive end, so he found other ways to score.
Is there any particular game that you have circled on the schedule? I know district play doesn't start till January for you guys. I know you've mentioned White County, and I know you were competitive with them, like you said. Then they made their postseason run, hit the state tournament. Is there anybody on the schedule that you're looking forward to this season to match up again?
Not really. I mean, we just we just try to really take it a game at a time. I know that's probably cliche, but me and my assistant coach, Coach Randolph, was talking. We're going to have to grind out some wins at times on the defensive end. Sometimes when we're struggling to score, and we kind of did that last night. And I thought it was a great win, a great effort win for our kids last night. And but no, really, we're just, our main goal right now is just try to improve each and every game, trying to be in the best position possible when we play that first district game. I'm pretty sure we play White County first district game. So.
Well, Coach Joey Agee, we appreciate you visiting with us. Best of luck to you and the Tigers. And I better throw a plug in there for your daughter Avery. I know she's a returning starter for DeKalb's girls squad, and best of luck to her as well.
I appreciate you guys.
Okay, we'll take a break and be back with more. And we'll remind you, you're watching The Box Score, presented to you by Carthage Safeway.
What is your emergency?
I think I'm being robbed.
Sir?
These big home security guys want way too much money from me.
Let's connect you to a local company right away.
It's a crime what big national companies charge for home security.
For just $49.99, get a system with a touch keypad, 3 window or door sensors, motion detector, key fob, and standard installation.
Help is on the way, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Switch now and save. Call or visit DTC Security online today.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
There are some services that you don't need every single day, but when you do, you need them fast. That's the kind of service that Roto-Rooter provides. Owned by the Watson family, Roto-Rooter is your next licensed trusted plumber with quick and dependable plumbing and drain service for those in DeKalb, Smith, and White counties. They can do it all and on your schedule. So go ahead and call the plumbing and drain experts of Roto-Rooter today. 615-215-7686.
Hello, I'm Bruce Daniel. I've lived in Cannon County all my life. For the last 59 years, I've only made it across the highway. I married my wife, Melody, in 1981. We hauled our first load of freight in 1983 with one truck and a couple old barred trailers. We found a way to make it. Our employees are the backbone of our company. Some of our team members have been with us for more than 30 years.
Welcome back here to the Box Score. Terry Collins along with Justin Mauldin, and we brought in the A-team, Nick Notes, helping us out today. We appreciate Nick doing that. We've got Jake Dillard with us on the line, the Gordonsville Tigerettes head coach. And Jake, you've had 2 games in 2 nights. I know there are 2 losses, but you've been a little bit inconsistent. And I know one thing you're wanting is more consistency with your blue and white.
Yeah, Monday night, the second half we played against Watertown was not very good at all. We played a lot better last night. I mean, you shoot the ball 68 times to their 31, 32 times, you got to win the game. It's frustrating. We not very consistent on the road right now, but, we're playing 9 kids, 7 of them sophomores, and a bunch of kids playing new roles. And so as long as we're trending in the right direction, win or lose right now, it really don't matter until district play starts in January.
Coach, I know last season you came up just short of what was your goal in making the region tournament. I know District 7A, we covered District 7A and District 7 AAA, especially on the girls basketball side, for each of their classifications, probably the best districts. I know for you, if you can hit region play, there's a very good chance you make a run because of how difficult district play is, and I know that you know that. And a couple seasons ago, we were present whenever you guys beat Clark Range, when you advanced to the region and you won a region game. What's your goal this year? Is it the same as last year? Is it any different?
It's the same because, that year we upset Clark Range. We're in the region semifinals, and if I remember correctly, we had a lead midway through the third quarter. Opportunity to go to sub-state. Last year at one point, I think there's 5 of us in the district, 4 of us was ranked in the top 10 in the state. We've got a lot of good teams, a lot of really good coaches in this district, which gets us ready, come region tournament time. We've played the second best team over there in Joe Burns and beat them by 35 in a scrimmage. And we played East Robertson in our Hall of Fame, and pretty exciting back and forth game. They got a really good freshman guard, and they beat us by 11. So I feel pretty comfortable with those matchups, but we got to get a lot better and get some wins this year in our district. It's real tough, like you stated, real tough district, and it's a little bit different than it's been in the past. I feel like 2 through 5 is kind of up in the air on any night, but we're going to have to really play well when we're on the road in those places, because those are real tough environments to go play and win a game in.
Coach, when you look at your team, one of your leaders is your post, Kamar Young. Really developed last year. I thought there were some games I saw her play coach where she really dominated the play in the post. And that's tough to do with the teams that you're playing. And I know Kamara scored the ball well and rebounded well for you. She's got to be a steady force for the Tigerettes this year.
Yeah, I think it was probably about mid-January when we changed some things up and just started going to her a lot down low. She started her senior year she was 2 blocks away from a triple-double to start her senior year. That would have been an awesome way to start the year for her. She's a great kid. I've been able to coach her for 6 years. I've got nothing but good things to say about her. When she is scoring the ball for us, we're going to be pretty hard to handle. She got a little foul trouble last night, and that just throws her completely off of any type of rhythm. She's one that kind of, as the game goes on, she gets better, gets a little sweaty and gets in there working. And, she does a whole lot for us inside. I could go on all day about her.
On the other side of the coin, Coach, you've got the one senior in Kamar Young, but outside of that, you've got a very young team. And I know you're starting several sophomores. Most of those sophomores have experience. I know Callie Underwood is back after experiencing an injury last season. How important is it going to be in her leadership, but then also in their development, and for them to get the experience that they need, not only for this season, but also into the future for Gordonsville Tigerettes basketball?
It's going to go a long way. Joining Kamar, we start 4 kids that made the all-district freshman team. They're sophomores. They've played a lot. The difference is they're playing in new roles this year. Mackenzie Herron's had a great start to the year. She's averaging almost 14 points a game as a sophomore. Having Callie back, getting her back into what she was last year before her injury. She hadn't played basketball in almost a year, So there's a little bit of bumps in the road right now, but, being able to lean on Kamara early will help those kids come along. And we got a bunch of sophomore posts that come off the bench too. Getting to practice against her every day and learn from her is big time help in their development as well.
Jake, when you look at your 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th grade team, and then you coach the high school team as well, Jake Dillard doesn't have much time in basketball season to do much besides coach basketball. I mean, that's I know you have a lot of camaraderie between those squads, and you're running the same system and all that, but it has to stretch you pretty thin.
It does. But I mean, got a great support system that's allowed that. We've got 4 games this week, counting the junior high basketball game I got to go coach. My daughter not being on the 5th and 6th grade team helps a lot now. I'm not having to jump straight in the vehicle from practice to go make a 5th and 6th grade girls game in Macon County. That's helped a whole lot, But at the same time, I love coaching it because, those kids get used to me. They get used to our terminology, what we do. A lot of those kids have played AAU with us and kind of used to me and the way I coach. So, at the same time, you're never home, and but, you're developing a program, and I think people that's kind of around it and and sees things knows that we're trending in the right direction pretty quickly. We got a good sophomore class. Our junior high team's really good. Our 5th, 6th grade team's really good. So we're really excited about the direction this thing's going in.
You know, speaking of how busy you are in the program that you're doing from the middle school up, you also added some events to Gordonsville that had never been held before. I know you had the Keith Williams Classic earlier this year, and we're excited to be able to be partners with you guys in the DTC Christmas Classic that's going to be coming up next month. Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about those and what that means to Gordonsville and, you know, the task that it was, you know, facilitating those and starting those for the first time this year?
You know, it's you want to treat everybody right when you do those things. And the first thing when we did those, I called up Chad Williams to get, you know, really just the okay to call it the Keith Williams Classic. And he couldn't be happier to do it. And, you know, told him how many teams we had. And we really want to grow it next year as well. And it's time consuming. I might have seen my wife a day or two in 2 weeks. You know, but it's something that's awesome for our kids, this experience, getting to play here. And then, you know, hosting that Christmas tournament, we got teams from all over. We got some really good basketball teams coming. I mean, looking at scores, that girls' bracket's going to be tough. The boys, we got a team that a former college roommate of mine, when we played together at Bryan College, he's bringing his team from Memphis. And so we've got teams from all over, and it's just, anytime you can host stuff and kids get to play here and, you know, the parents ain't having to travel and, you know, and how much our parents help us do so much up and down. You know, we had parents bringing stuff for hospitality room and whatever help they can, you know, they're always gracious to help do whatever. So, you know, being able to do those things here is just, it's a great feeling to be a part of it and to get it started. And we can't thank you guys enough for doing that.
Jake, when you look, having that Keith Williams Classic, which was 5th and 6th grade and 7th and 8th grade, you know, I got to come over a few nights and watch that. You know, there was a lot of good quality basketball, and those championship games were very, very good. I think you played Watertown, if I remember right, in one of those. I think defeated, played Forks River in another one. You know, it was real good basketball, and what I liked is, you know, you didn't have to go very far to see it, and you know, especially with, you know, the Christmas tournament that you've got, the DTC sponsoring, I think, you know, allowing your fans not to have to be on the road. I can say this because you went to Byrdstown not twice like I did, but at least once to scout, or having to go to Clark Range or here or there. It affords your fans to see some good quality basketball, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, or high school level, for them to come and really, you can sit and enjoy games, some of them 6 and 8 games a day.
Yeah, you know, just being able to, you know, and I think it's our kids are proud to be able to show off, you know, our facilities, and parents ain't having to, you know, go all over the place. People that ain't been to Byrdstown or Clark Range or even going to Clay County, that trip maybe bothers me more than any of them. And that our kids can, you know, play here, and our parents can just come right here, and it's so close to home. And it's just it's a really special thing to be able to do that here, and we hope to be able to keep doing that every year and really let it grow and to where people want to come here to play in these tournaments.
Jake, when you look at the concession stand and all the, you know, with Coach Bush and Coach Clemens, not only that, but gatekeepers, getting the gym clean, all that. There's a whole lot more work to it than meets the eye. It doesn't just start with the game and end with the game. It starts days and days before and hours and hours after.
Yeah, yes, sir, it does. You know, I think I started, that tournament started October 28th, I believe was the first day, and I think I was working on it in August, getting it scheduled and getting us some cleaners, some clock operators, gatekeepers, whoever wanted to do concessions, you know, getting all that lined up. You know, me and Coach Bibb was working on that countlessly and trying to work around people's schedules, the other teams. And, you know, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and that, you know, even me, you know, when I first got here didn't know about, but, you know, having
hosted AAU tournaments as well. Those are long nights. So, you're talking some of those days we was here at, 8 o'clock in the morning and didn't leave till 10 o'clock at night. But it's worth it when you can do these things for your kids and, in situations and host things that, have never been done here. So to be able to do those things and your kids be able to experience it as well makes all that stuff worth it.
Coach Jake Dillard, we appreciate you visiting with us, and I know you've got a big game against the Lady Owls on Friday night. Best of luck with that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
We've been talking with head coach Jake Dillard of the Gordonsville Tigerettes, and we'll have more of the box score when we return. It's sponsored by Carthage Safeway.
Friendly, traditional banking at its best. It's what our customers have learned to expect at Citizens Bank, and we're always happy to deliver, with plenty of options for personal and commercial checking accounts, as well as a variety of loan types. We can help you achieve your financial goals, all with a friendly hometown smile. Citizens Bank at 407 Main Street and 61 Dixon Springs Highway in Carthage, 70 Cookeville Highway in South Carthage, and 530 Gordonsville Highway in Gordonsville. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
There are some services that you don't need every single day, but when you do, you need them fast. That's the kind of service that Roto-Rooter provides. Owned by the Watson family, Roto-Rooter is your next licensed trusted plumber with quick and dependable plumbing and drain service for those in DeKalb, Smith, and White counties. They can do it all and on your schedule. So go ahead and call the plumbing and drain experts of Roto-Rooter today. 615-215-7686.
Your trusted friend for all your grocery needs in Smith County is Carthage Safeway, your home-owned and home-operated supermarket. From the delicious USDA steaks in their meat department to the freshest produce around, Carthage Safeway is proud to serve you and your family. Todd and Angela Skurlock and everyone at Carthage Safeway are always there with a friendly smile and a helping hand. Great service, prices, and selection. That's Carthage Safeway, 80 Dixon Springs Highway, Carthage.
Welcome back to the box score for the final time. Terry Collins along with Justin Mauldin. Nick Noakes always doing a good job for us. Let's go ahead and look at the Division II games, the Blue Cross matchups, and we've got Friendship Christian and Middle Tennessee Christian. And you got CPA and Boyd Buchanan. Boyd Buchanan, of course, coached by Gary Rankin. Then you got Baylor and McCallie. Of course, that CPA game is Boyd Buchanan's 11 o'clock game. Then the 3 o'clock, then the 7 o'clock. A lot of people wanting to see that Baylor-McCallie matchup once again.
Listen, I think it's highly anticipated. You've got two of the area teams playing against each other, and McCallie with that blemish at the end of the season to Lipscomb. Many people thought they would probably be going into Chattanooga undefeated. Here's the thing, though. They can be beat. You can show that you can be beat. Gary Rankin going for, I believe, is it his 18th state title with Boyd there undefeated, and Friendship Christian going for back-to-back state championships. So
let's go ahead and look at the Class 1A through 3A games. You got South Pittsburgh against McKenzie, East Robertson versus Riverside. Of course, East Robertson just barely got out of York with their life, and Alcoa and East Nashville. Go ahead and look at the 4A through 6A games. Justin, your Upperman Bees goes on the road, beats Greenville, and now they've got an even tougher task playing Pearl Cone.
Listen, I'm a fan, and I'm an alumni of Upperman, but they have a tall task ahead of them.
You're a realist.
Yes, to beat the Firebirds of Pearl Cone this year. Though last year, Anderson County managed to get their number after Pearl Cone went up 14-0 to start that game. So any given day, you never know.
Knoxville West versus Page, and then Oakland versus Houston. Let's go ahead and look at our upcoming featured game, which is the Battle of Smith County. It'll be the black and gold against the blue and white. You don't have to say much more than that. No, this is always an intense rivalry. There'll be some energy coming out of the stands. The first two games this season for them, they're starting it in Gordonsville. I know both of these teams, the girls split last year. I know Smith County, the boys lost to Gordonsville in their game there, and I know that they're looking to go back in there and get some revenge and top them this time. You can go to DTC 3. Reminder, we've got tons of Christmas parades upcoming. go to the website. Go ahead and, Justin, give that out.
And you can go to www.dtc3.tv.
And look to see when all of these Christmas parades, we've got one we're filming coming up this weekend, the Gordonsville. Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming games for Cannon County, Warren County, at Cannon County. It's always a good border rivalry. And then White County at Cannon County. When you look at Coach Nave and Coach Patrick, they're playing two solid clubs there.
Absolutely. Coach Patrick they've already played White County once. This is their second matchup with them. They lost by 10 points the first time, but these were two games that she was preparing for to try to set the stage for the rest of the season because, again, she's confident in their ability to be able to compete and take on any team that they face. And she's not afraid. Coach Nave's not afraid to schedule quality non-district opponents.
Your record might not be the best in the world, but at the end of the year, you're going to be a better team for it, for sure. Let's go ahead and look at DeKalb County, what they've got ahead. They go to Watertown on this Friday, and then they will travel to Carthage to play Smith County next Tuesday night. Of course, that is a former district battle from the old District 8AA days when Livingston and Upperman and York and all those teams were in there together. So these two teams know each other well.
Oh, absolutely. I was thinking as preparing for the show and going through, we got 5 teams in 4 districts when we used to have 5 teams in 2 districts.
Right.
Because 4 of them were in 8AA.
Right.
And so they're very familiar with each other. They're just up the road from one another. And so while these are non-district games, these games do mean something to all these teams when they're playing them.
Definitely do. Let's go ahead and look at the upcoming Gordonsville games. Of course, they'll host the Owls, a game that is the Huff and Puff Trucking Game of the Week on the DTC Sports. And then on Tuesday, they'll travel to Gainsboro to play against a 2A opponent. That is a close matchup, but one that Gordonsville, when you look, their boys still trying to remain undefeated. They're going to be coming kind of off an emotional high, Justin, after they play Smith County. I mean, when that's the battle and the people that you go to church with and eat across Thanksgiving dinner with and all that, when you see them, that just makes that game more fun for us, but more pressure packed for the kids.
Yeah, I think that they're going to be ready for it, that they're going to be prepared for it. Both of those games on the boys and girls side at Jackson County should be competitive games for each of them. They both should be able to go in there and compete. And, Coach Bibb, Coach Dillard are ready for these teams, and I think that they'll have them still up on their high. I don't think they're going to let them go down too far after that Smith County game. All
right, let's look at the up-and-coming games for the Owls and Lady Owls after they'll travel to Clinton County, Kentucky, which is Albany, Kentucky, right north of Byrdstown, about 17 minutes on Saturday after they go into Gordonsville, and then they'll return home next Tuesday night to play against DeKalb. Looking at the Watertown games that are upcoming, you got DeKalb County going to Watertown and then Lead Academy at Watertown on Tuesday night. So, Watertown playing some tough competition.
Yeah, again, you've got that Highway 70 rivalry there with DeKalb County and Watertown, just up the road from one another. Lead Academy out of Nashville, that's a charter school. I think it's been around 15, 16 years now. They have success on and off, but that won't be an easy game for the Purple Tigers and the Lady Purple Tigers.
Let's go ahead and look at some area games that are upcoming that people will be interested in. Always a tough battle when Stone Memorial and York play. I know Stone Memorial and Clark Range played last night, and then you got Livingston at Clark Range. So much tradition there, Justin, on the girls' side.
Yes, again, Upper Cumberland girls basketball. There's something when you say that, when you talk about Upper Cumberland girls basketball, everybody knows that you're going to be in for a competitive game. Livingston, Clark Range, coaches who are both going to be Hall of Fame coaches. Livingston coming off of their runner-up appearance, and Coach Rogers always has his Lady Buffaloes playing top-notch basketball.
Clay County and East Robertson, of course, York has lost a couple, but one of those against Gatlinburg-Pittman, who's picked to win the state championship. You got Clark Range at Stone Memorial, and then you got Clay County at York, and then Oakland traveling up to Baxter to play Upman. Our thanks to Nick Notes, and for Justin Mauldin, I'm Terry Collins. Good night on the box score.